So the gluteus maximus is one of the strongest muscles in the human body, yet a lot of times athletes have trouble activating and firing their glute muscles. Now firing the glutes is very important for athletes because they need to be explosive, primarily for vertical jumping, broad jumping, forward movement, back pedaling, even side to side lateral motion. Hopefully learning how to fire the glutes will become effortless and the athlete will be able to enhance their performance as they're able to use this huge strong muscle. So this first exercise is called a glute set, and although it's mostly seen in a physical therapy-like setting, it can be helpful for athletes, specifically younger athletes or new athletes who are still adapting and learning how to control and use their body. So you start out laying flat on your back, and essentially all you have to do is push through your heels and squeeze your glute or your buttock muscles. You can cue the athlete to have their hands placed right on the side of their hips, kind of where their glutes attach, and to feel that contraction. The next exercise is called a prone hip extension. Have your athlete lay flat on their stomach and keeping their leg as straight as possible. Tell them to kick back, trying to squeeze their glutes as hard as they can. The foot only needs to come to about 6 or 8 inches off of the mat. The athlete should either keep their toes pointed or flexed. Whichever position they feel is strongest for glute contraction is the one that they should go with. You also want to make sure that the athlete isn't bending too much at the knee and essentially performing a leg curl because that involves more of the hamstring. And while this can involve the hamstring and the hamstring can tend to take over, we want to isolate the glute. So that's why it's important to not do exactly what I'm doing here, as some athletes will try to do this. This next exercise is called a donkey kickback, and it's great for athletes, any type of athlete. It's a great way to get the glutes and hamstrings firing together. Have your athlete get down on all fours, and with a tight core, have them kick back one leg at a time, almost in an arc-like fashion. During each kick, they should actively think about squeezing their glutes and trying to be as explosive as possible. This next exercise is called a glute bridge, and it's very popular in the PT setting and also in the sporting realm. Have the athlete bend their knees up and keep a tight core. Once they have a tight core, tell them to push through their feet or through their heels and lift their hips up off the mat. It's okay if the athlete feels this exercise in their hamstrings, but we want to primarily focus on feeling it in the glutes. Now, one way that we can achieve this and ensure that glutes are firing is to have the athlete perform an isometric hold at the top and squeeze as hard as possible. This last exercise is great for any sprint athlete because it involves hip flexion, hip extension, and quad activation to some extent. Have the athlete start at 90 degrees of hip and quad flexion and cue them to quickly kick back and scrape the floor as hard as they can and return to the start position. This is vital as it mimics the co-contraction that takes place during a sprint. In this angle, you can see how quickly yet gently I scrape the ground and return to the start position. I hope these exercises help you as you gradually increase your kinesthetic awareness as it pertains to your glutes.